Hello everybody. Today we are in the Lot department and we take you discovering the mysterious Château des Anglais. Here in the south of France, these words refer to a particular kind of fortified cliff dwelling dating back to the Middle Ages. And of course, for us, the French, the Château des Anglais, the English castle, reminds the 100 Years' War, pillages, massacres, mercenaries who often were mixed up with English troops for good or bad reason. And most interesting is that there is a local name, a true name, that is employed in all the south of France for this kind of fortification. The word is Roccas, was Roccas, R-O-C-C-A, which gave in French Roque, R-O-Q-U-E, or Laroque. It's the same origin than in English, the word rock, in the sense of cliff.
Okay, does it mean that when I visit or when I see a village which name is Laroque, like Laroque-des-arcs or Laroque-des-arcs or La Roche, anything, does it mean that there was a Roccas?
Yes, most of the time it is true. If you carefully watch around, you should see a cliff or a sheer slope, and at least it is the evidence that there was a Roccas, a fortified dwelling somewhere around.
Okay.
For example, if you go to Laroque-des-arcs, you mentioned Laroque-des-arcs, there is still a kind of cliff dwelling that you can see and even tour. And although they did not give it the name of Château des Anglais, it is a Roccas. It's exactly what we are going to discover now. So in this area, there are 5 or 6 of these Châteaux des Anglais, or Roccas, as you like, which were meant to give a shelter to the populations in case of emergency. And what a better place to start our discovery than this rocky spur. Behind us is a small chapel. It is a chapel of Saint-Roch.
Saint-Roch?
Yes. Yes, but it's another orthograph, R-O-C-H, and Saint-Roch was a saint people were praying in case of epidemics. We shall see that another time. So on this promontory, actually, you can have a beautiful view upon the Lot River, and this also overlooks the town, the village of Laroque-des-arcs. So the word arc does not refer to bows, but actually here during antiquity there was an aqueduct which was crossing the river in order to supply water to the city of Cahors, which was the main city in the surroundings. This aqueduct was destroyed during the Middle Ages, but you see that it is kind of a strategic place. There is also a square tower, Romanesque square tower, that could control the river and the valley. Actually, the name given to this tower is La Tour des Péages, the toll tower. Well, after this short introduction, I propose you to leave and go to the next place, the next Château des Anglais, which is close to the village of Vers, upstream the Lot River. Follow me. So, Cécile, are you ready for the second discovery? Okay, so there is a short strenuous walk in order to reach the next place, but right from here you can discover the beautiful village of Vers. Okay, let's go.
Wow!
Okay, so now at least we can see what is behind a wall of Château des Anglais. You might be a little disappointed. Usually that's it, you find either a rocky shelter or a cave, and you can see that the entrance to the cave was locked, was barred by a wall. This wall is only partly very old. One can see that some section of the wall were recently restored.
And we can suppose that there are many floors because of the holes of beams, no?
Yes, wait a second. Yes, there are beams. There are holes for beams. So there were several different levels. But again, I'm not sure that the upper part of the wall is that old, since you can still see some wooden beams. This one is supporting a huge section of wall. But what is interesting is that there are still some evidences of fortifications, because where I am, you can see that there are two gates. It makes a small antechamber kind of SAS. So if somebody opened the first gate, he would be kind of stuck in the middle of this little room, because there was another door which was closed. And the defender from the place where I am could easily check enemy or friend,
or throw something,
and process. So for this third discovery, we are now on the bridge upon the Lot River, a bridge that leads to the village of Bouziès. Actually, this stretch of the valley, the name is Le Défilé des Anglais, the English Pass, and of course there is a Château des Anglais, English castle. There you can see it in this kind of natural slit in the cliff.
But this wall seems to be recent, no?
Yes, it is recent. Actually, it has been restored, particularly the crenellation, which was not existing. Originally, the wall was higher, and actually, it was a more complex building, because if you watch to the right, you can see several rows of beam sockets. So you see that there were several stories inhabited. You can even see a kind of window which has been masoned, and there were galleries across this rock in the middle. So something you can also notice is that those cliff dwellings are not always built very high above the ground level or the river. They can be close to the ground, but they are always very difficult to reach, particularly here, this Château des Anglais, knowing that the road you can discover now is quite recent. We made a change of valley, I mean, since we are now in the Selle River valley, which is a tributary of the Lot River, and we are going to discover our fourth Château des Anglais, which has another name, Le Château du Diable, the Devil's Castle, and you can see it now to the right. You can see that it's just like for the previous one. You see a part which is still standing, built, very old, but it was also much longer, since you see this kind of balcony, natural platform, and you find again those holes for the beams, so there were several stories. So for once we know a little more about this Roccas, since according to the legend it belonged to the Duke of Aquitaine wafer, 8th century. Actually, Wafer was assassinated in 768 by the men of Pépin le Bref, Pépin de Short, the father of Charlemagne. So we also know that during the 100 Years' War, the Château du Diable was occupied several times by mercenaries. For example, we know the name of one of those warlords. His nickname was La Garigny.
La Garigny, okay, it sounds like a French name, no?
Yes, it's a French name, but this La Garigny could have been working or could have been in the service of the King of England. It would give some credit to the presence of some English in this castle.
And maybe it has been Frenchisized?
Yes, maybe, yes.
Okay, interesting.
Okay, so it's time to go upstream and find our next Château des Anglais. Okay, so for this next exploration, we are still in the Célé River valley. We left our mounts near the church of the small village of Bringues, and after quite a steep walk, we are now at the foot of this long cliff. It has a semicircle shape, and we're going to discover some unusual fortifications. So look at this gate.
Wow!
Yes. Very, very particular fortification. It's quite unusual, but if you think of it, it is, well, it's very functional because it's literally sticking against the cliff, which is, there is even an overhang, and right underneath you can see that the slope is almost vertical, it's very steep, so it was almost impossible to get in if they did not want to let you get in. You will also notice this hole. This is where the beam, which was closing the board of the door, it could slide, you know, whoop, whoop, like a lock. And a beautiful cross arrow slit, still in good condition. It's quite strange, but at least it shows you that such a fortification, such a Château des Anglais, were not only one fortified building, it could be a series of fortifications. So here, once you pass the wall, you can imagine that they could protect some animals. There are some water supplies, so you can imagine that they could leave their horses or sheep, flocks, whatever. They were out of reach of thieves. I spoke of water supplies. Well, it's a small spring, but perhaps it was well, more active in the past. It's very beautiful with all these water dripping, and those green moss gives a special atmosphere to the place. Okay, let's go on. Did you notice that we are walking on the same level? Actually, it's the level of this, you see, this strata of stone which looks completely rotten, you know, and this is what is slowly undermined by erosion, by frost, and you see that the rock is full of cracks. It's slowly falling, well, slowly. You see that sometimes there are big slabs of limestone. Some of these rock falls are quite recent.
Okay, let's run, Bruno. We have to leave.
So you see above us is the fifth of our Château des Anglais, the chateau of the cliff of Bringues. And it is built, I don't know if you notice, but where the rock looks much more homogeneous, more solid. It's on purpose, of course. And this by this side of the cliff, of the track, there is no fortification, no wall, as we saw by the other side. So was it destroyed, or was it the chateau itself which was protecting the track? We don't know. You will also notice that the chateau is in very good condition because of the overhang which is above. And according to the specialists, it would date back to the 12th century because of the shape of the arches, round arches of the three windows. You can see that there was a kind of amenity because of this slit. It's a slit for the light. And underneath, we shall see it later, but at the level of the rock, there is a square hole, which certainly is a kind of hole for drainage, for wastewater. So that means that inside there was probably a latrine. So we have some information about the Château des Anglais, this Château des Anglais. Well, no bandits, no outlaws, no mercenaries hiding their booty here. But we know that the chateau belonged to the very powerful family of Cardaillac. And it was a very good landmark for them with others to show their domination to the surroundings. Actually, it can be seen from wherever when you are in the valley. It was also an excellent lookout, as you can imagine. And we know also that during the religious wars, the Huguenots, the Protestants, transformed it into a prison. That's all. So let's go to the next chateau, which is in the Dordogne River Valley. So this time for the last discovery, we are in the north of the department of the Lot, and the valley that you see in the bottom of the picture is the Bave River Valley. It is a tributary of the Dordogne River, and in front of us is a steep head valley. In other words, a kind of natural trench which was created by the presence of a very small stream. The name of the stream is the Hautoir, just like the village that you see in the bottom of the valley, the village of Hautoir. And now, if you watch the top of the rock, you see a kind of overhang, and if you carefully watch under this overhang, you can see a wall. This is the wall of le Château des Anglais, the English castle. The other name is Laroque-des-arcs, and that's what we are going to explore right now.
Okay. Wow, it's amazing. Do we have any documents about history of the castle anywhere?
Yes, there are some, not so many, of course. For example, probably the first building dates back to the 12th century, and then after it was slowly enlarged, as we're gonna see. And in addition, around there was all a village, which is now absolutely invisible. And in matters of history, what we can say is that in 1286 we know that Laroque-des-arcs it's the true name again of this chateau, belonged to the King of England. And during the 100 Years' War, we know the name of a captain who was commanding the chateau. His name was Bertrand de la Salle, and he was working for the English, which makes that for once, le château des Anglais, the English castle, is true. The castle belonged for a while to the English, or at least French people working for the English. We also know that during the religious wars, it has belonged to the Protestants. Again, we know the name of one of the Huguenot captains, Vinsou, who actually in 1588 gave back the chateau to the authorities of the next town of Saint-Céré. Okay. And then after, except during what we call La Fronde, kind of civil war, in the middle of the 17th century, the castle will be abandoned and slowly transformed into a stone quarry. And I remember that when I was a kid, I used to come here, and the chateau was really about to collapse. Actually, a section of the wall collapsed, which makes that after that, the local authorities decided to reinforce it, but in an excellent way. And now it is open to the public. We have to be very prudent because it's a little dangerous.
Okay. Wow, it's so stunning.
Yes, it's incredible. Eh?
Yeah. Wow. And it's so tiny.
Yes, it's really small, and plenty of people are expecting to see a bigger rock shelter, the entrance to a cave. No, it's so narrow,
yeah,
maybe
narrow,
2
yeah.
meters, maybe 3 meters wide. Why? It's just to take advantage of the overhang. You understand? It's quite rare to find a kind of rocky overhang, and that obliged the builders to follow this overhang, so that you cannot throw or attack the chateau by the top of the cliff. You also notice that this is the original entrance to the chateau, and in the 16th century they added this kind of round tower where there was a spiral staircase allowing to reach the other levels. There were at least 1, 2, 3, 4 levels. So there are some features showing some comfort. You see, it's raining outside, and here we are not wet. You see that probably the stones were stolen or quarried by the inhabitants of the village, which makes that the second village, the village which was around the chateau, has completely disappeared. So you see the place where a fireplace was, with the chimney here. It was quite important for the superficie of the room. We can see some, look here, these are some beam holes for the beam sockets, the 1, 2, 3, 4 different stories. And look how small it is, because this is already the end of this small fortress. It's a kind of eagle nest, and a perfect place to watch what is happening in the valley and the surroundings. So before leaving this area, I would like to show you the valley, because there are some little marvels I'm sure you're gonna enjoy.
Okay.
So now that we are in this beautiful valley, the light is really fantastic now. We are close to the village of Hautoir, and we find this small chapel. I like it very much.
Oh, it's the first time I see railings.
Yes, and you understand why, so that you could come and see what was inside. There are some paintings, some entombments. I think there is Saint Christopher to the left, so that you could take advantage of the chapel without opening the door. It is here that, according to the tradition, the shepherds came in order to bless their animals, their flocks of sheep or goats. What is funny, you see air.
Yes, air, yeah.
Actually, this is a chapel of Saint Roch.
Okay.
Just as we saw in the Vallée du Lot, there was a château des Anglais and a small chapel Saint Roch. Well, same phenomenon here. Okay, let's go to the waterfall now. So now we are in the bottom of this steep head valley, and you discover this beautiful cascade, this waterfall of the stream, which name is Autoire. Well, there is nothing else to say, just enjoy. Before we leave, let's discover this village of Autoire, which is one of the most beautiful of France, particularly this medieval or Renaissance architecture. There are some hôtels particuliers, some little manor houses like this one, which is my favorite, which is with this incredible turret, pure marvel. Of course, there are plenty of other houses that people will discover on their own. It's time to leave.
Allez, let's go.